sometimes I may feel like I'm in the back burner,
Right.
but it's not really that. It's we're evolving as humans, which is what you're supposed to do.
Right.
So yeah, you're marrying the unknown, and you know, again, like, how do men deal with that? How do women deal with that? So it's never a thing where it's just a one script, one blueprint. You're continuously trying to figure things out, communication, and I want to have real conversations about how people deal with these things.
Yeah.
Alright, live and in the building inside Mind. I am your host, John Reese. My guy smiling. That's what I like to see. Smile as soon as we come in here. That's what I like to see. Man, we have a friend of mine, man, who I met a couple years back of my journey getting into, you know, the bodybuilding world, and we've pretty much been, you know, trying to link up ever since then. I'm glad to have him on here, man. He's been competing for 6 years. Since 2018, he's done a total of 10 shows. No overalls as an amateur, but I don't have him either, so that doesn't matter. So don't even worry about that. He does have first places in his class. 4 national shows. One I definitely want to get into because my guy couldn't even make the stage, and he should have turned pro a national show earlier. But we'll definitely get into that. He turned pro 2021 at the North Americas, and he's done 2 pro shows so far. My guy Ricky in the building.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, brother?
Good. Happy Friday the 13th, you know?
Yes.
Glad we're staying safe indoors, you know, and you know, making the most of it. But definitely thank you for having me, bro.
Absolutely, man. I had to get you on, man. I've been shouting out to your coach too. He better
Shout out to DJ, man.
Yeah, shout out to him. Hopefully get him on. But I know you have an interesting story, and I know the year I turned pro, you turned pro the same year. So I wanted to get you on to pretty much collaborate on, you know, the mental health aspect as far as what we go through as bodybuilders. A lot of the fans don't get to see that or hear that. And you have a following that, you know, maybe you can tap into to get them to understand that it's not just food and dieting and workout sets and all that stuff. So that's why I definitely wanted to get you on, man.
Definitely.
So first and foremost, checking in with you mentally. How have you been since your 2 pro shows this year? How's everything going, man?
Ooh, it's been good. Been transitioning back into you know, business mode. So, you know, I've been taking care of a lot more clientele ever since. But ever since the 2 shows, man, it's been good. You know, I'm only up like 5 pounds. You know, being low, you know, just trying to put on that lean muscle tissue. Yeah, man, it was definitely an experience. It was definitely an experience. The difference between the NPC and the IFBB is night and day. Night and day. I mean, standing back there, just being with all the other pros, it was a blessing, and it was also a big eye opener, huge eye opener, and definitely everyone agreed that we need to take a little time off and grow a lot more in every area. So, but definitely, it was fun. It was fun getting back on stage after 2 years and, you know, doing my thing. I was nervous the first show, but the second show I came in a lot more confident, a lot more fuller. Posing was on point. It was local, so I even had family there. A lot of it was great. It was awesome. But yeah, it's been good ever since. It's been really good ever since.
That's good, man. I know when I did my pro debut, it being local too, you mentioned it being like eye-opening. I remember being back there, and it was like, dang, it was like being like your very first show all over again.
It really
And
was.
it was just like, dang, I see such and such and such and such. And it took me out of my element a little bit, like, because I like to be focused, like I prepared for this moment, but it almost like I wasn't prepared. Like, what was your initial thoughts being backstage?
My initial thoughts were, okay, I follow you on Instagram. I watch all your videos. Like, it was kind of surreal because I was like, wow, I'm back here with, you know, people that you know, I admire and that I look up to, and that I try to, you know, take note of and, you know, kind of soak in what they give out knowledge wise and, you know, workout wise. And it was pretty cool. You know, there was a moment I was on stage for prejudging, and I was in the back watching the first call outs, and my eyes kind of just drifted off, and I kind of just looked around and I was like, wow, I'm here, you know. Looked behind me, and there was the IFBB, you know, Pacific USA's, you know, pro men's
Mhm.
physique. It's like, damn, you know, like, you know, this is it, you know, and I'm a rookie all over again. You know, I made it, and you know, it's only up from here. And my goal is to eventually be in that first call out one day. You know, no matter how long it takes. Uh, but yeah, it was a huge eye opener, and you know, I just soaked it up. And when I got off stage, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little emotional, you know, in a good way. But yeah, it was like I was in a dream, and I was like, oh,
That's good, man.
so.
Like, it was emotional for me too. I was again, I put too much expectations on myself going into it, so I was emotional, like, checking in. I was like, "Man, I finally got it." And then after the show, like, I was upset. So, I felt like I robbed myself of the experience a little bit, thinking that I went in with way too many expectations, thinking it was sweet, and it wasn't. So, and like you said, it was an eye opener. So now I'm actually taking a page out of your book, man. Like, again, like being someone who studies and follows, I noticed you take a lot of time off in between shows.
Mhm.
And I would like to know, like, how does that mentally help you, prepare for, whatever it is that you're going through? Because sometimes, like, I get the itch and I just want to go. But you take time off. So how does that mentally, prepare you to be in the right space you need to be in?
It gives me time to prepare because, you know, as a, you know, as an athlete growing up, I was an athlete all my life. You know, I played soccer for about, you know, 10, 12 years. And it was at, you know, the highest level of club soccer that you could play at, you know. And, you know, even then we would prepare for weeks, you know, for tournaments. And just implementing that into bodybuilding, it allowed me to kind of be patient with the process and kind of enjoy it, and you know, do the lean bulk, you know, and then cut down. And you know, the cardio was, you know, honestly it was easy because of my background. But then again, you know, there was days where I had no energy and it was just super tough. But it gave me time to kind of prepare for each show, and kind of allow myself to really tap into my training, tap into my eating, you know, and my day-to-day recovery. But it gets tough, you know, because I see everyone, you know, competing, and I'm like, oh man, I want to get back in shape, and you know, I want to get back on the horse, and you know, just start cutting again. And but I'm like, no, you know, it's always, you know, it's always been, you know, like for example, DJ's motto has always been, you know, better every time. And so I take that to heart, and you know, every show, you know, I strive to come in better and better, and that's something that we've done literally every show. So you know, it kind of allows me to prepare and you know, focus on those weak points. And this was actually the biggest gap that I had in between my shows. So 2 years since 2021. Obviously going into the pro league, you know, you know, nationals is one thing, but then once you enter that pro stage, it's like, oh shoot, you know, you're, like I said, you know, like we said, we're rookies all over again, you know. So
Exactly.
it gave me time to prepare for what's coming. And you know, I gave myself some time to grow. And you know, when DJ was like, you know what, you know, let's you know, let's get our feet wet, you know, let's see how you look this year. I picked those two because it gave me time in the beginning of the year to kind of get back on the horse. So after nationals, I stayed on point for, like, I'd say probably a good year. And you
Mm,
know, life happens, you know, you get a little exhausted. And I kind of stopped, you know, following the regimen, you know, stopped doing the cardio. I stopped eating the meals I needed to, and I started, you know, going, you know, eating out a lot, and mostly that. And you know, just putting on unnecessary weight and fat that, you know, just, yeah, I knew was going to kind of hinder my process, you know, coming back in. And then when we finally, you know, took it serious, and it's like, hey, we're gonna do these two shows, I was like, okay, you know, I need to get back on the horse. I need to get back into my training. I need to get back into my recovery, back into my, you know, my meal preps. And you know, I felt like I was kind of behind, but at the same time, it kind of gave me a push, you know, a fire under my butt to kind of just get going again, and seeing everybody do their pro debuts kind of also, gave me a more motivation to kind of like, okay, I see these guys doing their pro debuts and they look amazing. They've grown a lot, throughout the time they've took off since, they turned pro and now, and I want to do the same. I want to do the same, so taking that time in between shows kind of helps me to just kind of get in the zone and come in how I want to come in, and we do what we do in the amount of time, but it all comes down again to the dieting, the training, especially the training, and you see the end results afterwards. So
Absolutely, man. And I think, I wasn't at your pro debut, I was at the second one you did though. And again, like your conditioning is like it never fails. And now I see why, because you told me about your soccer background.
yep.
Because now it makes perfect sense. So it's like, again, man, watching from afar, I'm a fan. So it's almost like I always picture you when it comes to conditioning. And then now this year with me taking literally the whole year off, I've been off since September. And honestly, next year, maybe even the second half of the year when I go up, like we'll see. I feel I'm in a good space. But again, that pro debut, it kind of messed with me mentally for like 6 weeks after.
Hmm.
So I was like, you know what? You have no business being up there if you're not mentally ready to kind of deal with whatever comes with that.
Oh,
And that's
definitely.
kind of the mindset that I took going into this. And then, wanting to, give back time to my family, my wife, my daughter,
Hmm.
stuff like that. So from afar, man, I appreciate you for sure, just for kind of laying a blueprint for me in a sense, and believing that it's okay to actually take the time off necessary. So
Yeah, man, it's okay to take time off. Bodybuilding's not going anywhere. You know,
there you
kind
go.
of, bodybuilding's not going anywhere. It's take care of your health, take care of your family, take care of your business. That's what's gonna help you continue into bodybuilding.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So tell me, go back to 2018 when you started. What actually got you into bodybuilding?
Um. So I was actually thinking about that earlier. What got me into bodybuilding was pretty much uh, let's go way back before 2018. So what got me
Hmm.
into lifting in general, um, I got into some trouble. I got when I was 19, I got a DUI, and that's what kind of got me into the gym to kind of stay out of trouble.
Hmm.
And I got my first job then too. But every day after work, I would go to the gym, and I didn't really know what I was doing, but I would hit chest like 4 days a week, Monday to Thursday, and then hit some back on Friday, and I would just play ball with the boys, afterwards, at LA Fitness, uh, afterwards, they all just kind of took it as like, just we're just going to the gym to play around and whatever. I'm the only one who kind of like, what, I'm gonna formulate a training regimen for myself because I want to train. I want to learn weightlifting. I want to, I played soccer, so I was always a skinny guy. I only had abs. I didn't have everything else. So, um,
Right.
you know what? If I'm gonna be, the smallest guy, I at least want to have some muscle on me. So all my friends were over 6 foot, hence the basketball, and I was just there. Just a quick little guy. Quick on my feet.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I was like, you know what? I want to at least put on some muscle. So for a couple years, I kind of aspired to compete. So I did the bro split, which is kind of similar to what I still do now. But I kind of learned to kind of separate my workouts, separate my training, and a couple years in, fast forward maybe like 4 or 5 years in, I met at like a car meet. I met a female coach who was, I could tell she was into bodybuilding. Followed her on Instagram,
Mm.
and come to find out, she competed. And I asked her, hey, do you think you can help me get into it? Because I've always, I don't know what website to go to. I don't know how to look for shows. I don't know, And so she's like, I can direct you, and she helped me, sign up for my first two shows, and I did very well. My first show, I got second place in a 2018. I got second place in a stats class of about, I want to say, 18 guys in an open.
Wow.
And it was my first time. I didn't know what I was doing, but going back to conditioning, I always carried strong conditioning with me, so that's kind of what put me in that second place spot. But yeah, man, it just kept me out of trouble, and I ended up really enjoying it. Once I started really following other people, and back then, Instagram wasn't as big as it was, back in the right when Facebook was more popular than Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
So it was more like YouTube, and then that's when I want to say Shred's Army came out, and like Joey Swole and like Paige Hathaway
Mm.
started
Yep.
doing Greg Plitt, and then like just all these other man. I'm trying to think of just more older people from like 2010 to like 13, but
You're
then
gonna have to think a lot, brother.
yeah, going to 13 is when I believe it was that like when Men's Physique first started, like 12,
Yep.
13.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's when I was like, that's something I want to do. I've never been the biggest guy. I don't have the biggest legs, but up top, that might be something I might want to do. So fast forward to 2018, I finally got the opportunity to do it. And going through the process, I did an 8-week prep, and I fell in love with it. So I did another show a couple months later. So I took about 4 months off again. No, that was June. Sorry, to August, I believe, which was Sin City. Finally got my first place, and then I was like, you know what? Let's do another one. I started really liking it. December, I did 2018. I did Excalibur, and that's when I got my ass handed to me, and I got a 7th place. And that was against, I believe Frankie Yan got 3rd place in that one. My boy Frankie. Shout out
Hey,
Frankie.
Frankie.
Yeah, and that's
Yo.
him, and I was just like, damn, this guy's a dope physique. This guy's such a dope physique. How did he not win? And fast forward to 2019, I did a warm-up show in June, um, Battle at the Desert, Spectrum Productions. I got 1st place there, and then went into nationals. USA is my first one, 2019, and
Mm-hmm.
I didn't go in with any expectations. I didn't want to disappoint myself in a sense. So I was like, you know what? Let's see how we keep up with the nationally ranked athletes. So coming in, 2nd place, 1st place. I was like, you know what? Let me test the waters. I just want to see what I'm missing, and what it takes to look more of a national level athlete. And it was about 25 guys in open class A for 2019's USA's, and we got 5th place. I was like, whoa, I didn't expect that, and that's kind of
And
what
on the first one too. That's
that's
what's up.
that's kind of what started my hunt for the pro card, and after that, I just competed in national competitions, and yeah, after that, it was we just prepped for actually, yeah, it took a whole year off, prep for 2020. Um, it was supposed to be in June, but of course, COVID hit,
They moved it back.
and
Yep.
back to December, and it allowed me, a couple more months to prep. So, and we came in 6th place in that one. So it got a little more difficult every year. It got more difficult, national shows. they're not easy, and so we took
So
another.
hold on.
Yeah.
You always go to US. Oh, I think you
Shit.
cut out there. You said there we go. You good. So USA's, you're pretty much always going there, right? So is it just a decision to always just want to stay close to home, or was it just giving you more time?
Both. So it was
Okay.
more of a road trip, not as far as going to, say Universe or North Americans, or even nationals when it was in Florida. But yeah, it was more on the local side, and it definitely allowed to give me more time. I would just okay, USA's, all right, how we do, all right, take that data, implement
Okay.
prep, and let's take a whole 8 months off, and then come back and prep for 16 weeks for USA's. And I kind of like that approach, and USA's kind of became the one that was the one where I wanted to turn pro at. So 3rd time was supposed to be the charm. So going into 2021.
Talk about it, man. Oh, let me land the plane for you. Oh, let me land the plane. So 2021, USA just happened to be in Arizona this year. Again, they're still recovering from all the COVID stuff, so they moved us out there. Um, for whatever reason, I think they still could have had it in Vegas, but whatever. But for whatever reason, this show was moving at light speed. this day. So I just want to set the playing field. Go ahead, take story away. Sorry about that.
So it was moving at light speed. Okay. Mind you, I'd gotten there. I think we went on stage Friday.
Was it Friday? I
No,
think it was Friday. I
it was,
think it was
I think it was a Saturday because they had to separate the women the night before. And then,
Saturday. Yep.
yeah, okay. So I had gotten there on like a Tuesday. And so we were ready. We were ready. I was there drying out, waiting for the team. And fast forward to the morning of. So the show was moving. They had figure on stage, and then they had women's physique, and they had men's physique scheduled at 11. So had breakfast, got my tan. It's about 9:45. I get back to the hotel. Uh, Stage time is 11, so I'm trying to get there by 10:15. Get there at about 10:10. It's always been a nightmare of mine to get to the show, and my class is already on stage. And come to find out, that's exactly what had happened. They had decided to start the men's physique division almost an hour early, and there were still people showing up. Whoever was there before 10 didn't even get time to pump up or anything. It was just, hey, let's go, line up, guys. From what I heard, line up, guys. We're gonna get on, and they got ready. By 10 o'clock, they started going on stage. So I'd walk in 10:15, and the second showing of the whole class was already going up on stage. So I'm in there at the door looking, and I see men's physique class A, and I'm like, there's no masters at USA's, right? I'm like, no. Oh my God. They started the show early. That's my class. So I pretty much dropped my bag, and I start running in. I got people trying to stop me. Hey, sir, where's your, and I'm like, I got to get on stage. I got to get on stage. So I'm over here, you know, dodging people. I get back there, and I walk up to the guy with the clipboard, and I tell him my number, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? Why is the show already starting? You guys got it scheduled at 11. You still have people showing up. And come to find out, after I undressed and everything into my shorts, he's like, hey, we've already gone twice. We're about to do we're about to finish the comparison round, actually. He's like, you're too late. So I was
Mm,
devastated. I was, man,
bruh.
bag of emotions.
Look, man. I remember I was already in line, so they had us behind class B. Like they were lining us up so far back. It was kind of crazy, but something had told me to just get there at 9 o'clock. I never do that. I'm just like you. Like, all right, if you say this time, I'm gonna get there 45 minutes before, and we cool. But I didn't stay at the host hotel. I stayed like at a hotel that was like 5 minutes away. But something told me. I told my wife like, "Hey, drop me off, then y'all come back. Do what y'all need to do, whatever." And I remember, women's physique or whatever one was second, like it was almost done. And I was like, what the hell? Like, this is kind of going fast. And I thought, well, all right, whatever, you're still gonna start it at 11 because that's the timestamp you got. So yeah, it was kind of crazy, bro. And then when I seen you, I was shocked, bro, because I remember seeing you and Brian and I was just like, lucky for Brian, he was in class D. You see what
Yeah,
I'm saying? But I seen your face, bro. Take me back to like some of the emotions that you felt because I felt like, excuse my language, I felt like shit for you, bro. Because like the same nightmare you be having is what I be having all the time, bro.
yeah.
That's like the worst thing. Take me back to some of the things you felt.
And it's crazy because I've talked to so many people, and they've had the same nightmare, like same image in their head, like, oh man, just imagine I didn't make it on stage. After getting the news, I think I was the first one, besides my other Class A teammate, who, by the way, barely made it on stage. He said he got there and took his pants off, and he just ran on stage. He didn't even have a pump or nothing, or a glaze or nothing. And I called DJ, and I was like, coach, and I was like, they started the competition already. They started Class A. I missed my class, and he was like, what? And I'm like, they started the competition. I missed my stage time. I didn't make it on stage. And he's like, what? and he's just in disbelief because he was like, how, and he was on his way. He stayed about like 20 minutes away. So he ended up calling everybody right after my call and told them all to rush to the venue as quickly as possible because they're starting, and Ricky missed his stage time, and you guys got to make it. And like 10 minutes later, as Class B was still going, people started showing up, and I was just standing there in disbelief. I was trying to control my emotions because I started, I was upset. I was angry. I was aggravated. I'm not in the best state of mind. Going, already into panic mode. So I almost made a scene, but luckily I had a couple coaches back there. I believe it was, I think Ryan Benson came up to me, and Terry Placker came up to me, and they were like, "Hey, man, just relax. We'll take care of this. You don't want to say something you'll regret, because you might see these guys again." And so I kind of like, you know what, you're right. Don't overreact. Like, just kind of, shut your mouth and just, it happened. You kind of already know how these people, well, not how they are, but just how things go. So I was like, all right, whatever. I'll just wait till my coach gets here, and then maybe they can talk something out, and maybe they could figure something out. So finally,
Man, look, you better than me because I ain't no way. No, I'm sorry. But kudos to you, bro, because again, like I remember taking a picture with you back there too, bro, and you was there supporting your team. You was there
have it
supporting people you knew.
scorecard.
Right. And it was just one of those things like, man, my guy's so stand up about this because to put in all that work to not even get a second of stage time. And then, like, yeah, I was, like I said, I was hurt for you, man, but it shows your character in that moment, how you was still there supporting your team, helping, everyone that you came with, try to fulfill their dreams, man. So kudos to you on that, bro, for real.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. It was tough. I had DJ give me a call afterwards, and he was like, "Hey, I want you to come back to finals. Maybe something will happen. Maybe they'll do a rejudge. Who knows?" So I was like, you know what? I'm in Arizona, and it's not like I can just get home right now and leave. And so I was like, you know what? Let me just calm down and just be there for my guys. And it worked out. I ended up taking some pictures and videos for the guys, kind of backstage, and I ended up becoming in like a good mood when I was back there. I was cheering everyone on. I was giving people compliments. I was like, hey man, you look good, and they were like, yeah, you look good, bro. Like, I'm sorry what happened to you. And it does suck because that was one of my hardest and driest looks. And we sacrificed a lot for that show. But come, we got lucky, and we actually received a lot of push to go to nationals in Pittsburgh, North American.
Yeah, and everyone got yeah, I'll talk about it. That look that missed at USA's brought his tail right back to Pittsburgh. So yeah, because he posted a picture like the look. I remember what the caption was. It was like the look that never hit the stage or something like that. And I was like, dude, he's only gonna get better in four. It's over. It is over. And you went out there and wiped it clean, bro. Tell me how that felt to get that validation out of you.
It felt good. A lot of people told me, hey, kind of helped me calm down. They were telling me, you were meant to win in a different place, at a different time, and it's gonna be a sweeter victory. And I was like, you know what? I took that to heart, and I was like, you're right. I'm gonna take that mentality, and I'm gonna take these next 4 weeks and just prepare and just work on my flaws that I see already. So a little more shoulders, a little more lats, a little more back, and we did the damn thing. And coming into a class with over 32 guys, you know masters guys included, so we had some guys in there with like some muscle density, some big guys, and I kind of got worried, but nonetheless I came with the mentality, I'm probably the only guy here from the West Coast, and I brought my best physique, so we'll see what happens. I was one of the last guys to go on stage. We had a big screen in the back so we can kind of see each other pose and go on and everything. When I came back after my initial individual round, just opposing, everyone was just like, and I was like, "What,
Mm-hmm.
like, dude? You are one of the most conditioned guys we've ever seen." And I was like, one guy was like, "Wait, aren't you the guy at that? Aren't you the guy that didn't compete at USA's?" And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Yeah, that's me." And a couple guys were like, "I heard about that. Yeah, I saw that too. That's you." And then they were kind of like, "Okay, all right."
Yeah, he should have got it a month prior, but that ain't none of my
Yeah.
business.
So it was a sweeter victory because it was a bigger class. I do believe that the competition was a lot more difficult and a lot more challenging at North Americans. Those guys look amazing, amazing. I still talk to a couple of the guys, and they've done their pro debuts. I got one guy prepping for his debut. My boy Don Allen, shout out to him.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man. I remember getting off stage and just looking at the pro card, and once everyone kind of, we took pictures with the top five, and they left, and it was just me, and I was just waiting for Class B to kind of get through, and I was just there by myself, and I was just staring at the card, and I was just saying, "Man, we did it! We came all the way out here for this, and there's a lot of support behind this, so it was just a bigger win. It wasn't just me; it felt like it was all of us. Because going from USA's those 4 weeks into North Americans, a lot of support, and I don't think I would have continued after USA's if I didn't have that many people, just holding me up, and guiding me forward and telling me, "Nah, don't stop. This isn't done. You got another 4 weeks." So definitely, it was an emotional moment, and I had some time back there to kind of just soak it all in, and went into my first overall, and I kind of felt like that was like my first pro competition right there. So these guys
Mm-hmm.
crazy, man, and it was an awesome lineup. And I remember just getting off stage and just being grateful that I never quit and that we kept going. And I told DJ, I wouldn't have done it if you wouldn't have called me and told me, nah, you're not. This isn't. You're not done. We're gonna go to Pittsburgh and you're gonna win. And exactly what happened.
Yeah, talk about that, man, because that had to been a long 4 weeks, man. So two-part question, like throughout that 4 weeks, how often was it like, you know what, I don't want to do this based off what just happened? And then speak to, you have your lady in your corner, your coach in your corner, like how instrumental their support was to talk you out of those mental battles you were going through.
It was tough coming back to Cali after that moment at USA's. Um, I did feel like, hey, why don't we just stop it now and just take another year and continue forward, because I was tired, man. I was exhausted. Like I said, we pretty much threw it all we had for USA's, mentally, physically, financially. So we were spreading ourselves pretty thin, and that was one reason I wanted to stop. But I have this saying that life always finds its way. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And having my lady Carlina, big shout out to Carlina, and having DJ in my corner, big shout out to DJ. Um, they really helped me, keep my mind in place, in terms of seeing the bigger picture and seeing the end result, and making everything that I've sacrificed to that point, not, you know, making it worth it, making it worth it. And, I had my family back me up too. And, they told me, you reminded me, you're not one to ever quit, and I felt like, I was close, and DJ believed in me and said, "Hey man, pro card, if we go to North Americans, if you stay on track, it's yours." And, I trust him 100%, and it's exactly what happened. And having my lady in my corner, she helped me with a lot of more of the mental, physical, the mental and the emotional side of things, because we can only take so much, and me, I'm kind of a open bottle and then close it up, you know, and just let it build up until one moment, you know, we end up
Mm-hmm.
blowing up, exploding. But you know, I've been working on that a lot, and she kind of helped me keep that top, you know, that cap off, and just kind of help my emotions flow a little better, and just stay out of my head those last 4 weeks, and just
Man.
keep my eyes on the prize.
Shout out to her, man, for sure. I know a lot of us can't do what we do without having our significant other behind us, man. And I know, like, just again, following you, post her a lot, man. So shout out to her. Shout out to your coach for real, because again, like you talk about like these expectations. So the week prior to USA's, I went into the LA championships, and that was the only show prior to my pro debut where I went in like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna go in there, do what I need to do, and then go to USA's and then, win this pro card, only because I had been on the national stage, prior, and I was 1 point away from the last one.
Hmm.
So went into to the LA championships, went into my class, and ended up placing second to Zahid, the
I
guy.
remember. I
Yeah.
uh,
He gonna be out here soon, man. Me and him gonna have to have a talk. But
hey man, he
like,
just pro debut and he got second, man. That's crazy. Big shout out to him, bro. He looked
man,
real quick.
his conditioning reminds me of you, bro. I ain't gonna lie. That's what knocked me. That's how you beat me that first one. Because so I actually owe him a thank you, bro, because you took 4 weeks. That whole like 6 days that I was in between USA's, I was like every day, I was like, man, I don't want to do this, bro. Like, if I can't win my class or win overall the week before, I should not be going to USA's. And you going to, I was avoiding USA's. I was going everywhere else except USA's. And I was just like, you know what? It took until like Thursday to drive up, and then just again talking to my wife, like, look, you're gonna go, you're gonna do great. Just don't put all your eggs in the same basket. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So we getting ready, and I noticed by Friday my conditioning was way better than the previous. I was like, okay, we on to something. Woke
Yeah.
up Saturday, I was like, are we good? And then I seen Zahid backstage, and I got angry all over again. He didn't know though.
Oh, okay.
Like, he kept it cool. He was like, man, I knew you was coming. He was like, this is my first national show. He was like, man, I got anything in my bag? You need anything? And I'm like, yo, dude, mad cool, but I don't like you right now, bro.
Yeah. Right now we're in
Like,
competition.
I don't. And he was like, man, he was like, can you help me pump up? And I'm like, you know what? You need to remove your ego now, because it's gonna hurt you on stage. So I was like, yeah, man, let's pump up together. And it became like this thing. And he'll act like, if you ever talk to him, ask him. We in first call outs, and I go to the middle immediately. And then like 2 minutes in, he gets moved to the middle, and I mumble like, "Oh, I was waiting on you," because I knew he was coming, bro. Like, it
Yep.
was just a matter of time. And he starts laughing on stage, like you could probably see it in the video. But so now it's like, because of him, I had doubt going in the finals. I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna get first or second, because it was an 8-person call out. So me and him are split in the box. And I'm like, dude, if he beats me again, bro, I'm gonna be so mad. But I ended up beating him. I
Yeah.
think it was just one of those things where it was like, all right, like, you just got to let the chips fall where they fall. But had I tapped into that negativity that I was going down, it could have, I could have not even finished first call outs, bro. It's crazy. So
Would have been a different results, man. And I remember being there and watching, and I was just like, in second place, and I was just like, and they called his name, and I was like, no way. And you know what?
yeah,
You
bro.
had that year, you had the best back, bro, on stage. I still remember seeing you.
Mm.
And no, I remember they in the overall, they moved you and you split the center. And they were just looking at your backs, man. And I was just like, damn.
Yeah, I gotta talk to Mark about that too with his big self. But man,
Yeah.
I appreciate that, bro. And it was just one of those things, like, you gotta, again, rely on your support, like you talk about, and just, you kind of gotta stay out of your own way, man, because those mental battles can be tough. So
That role
again,
can't, you know.
kudos to you, bro, because that 4 weeks is long, and I was complaining about 6 days.
Oof. Yeah.
So
Those
yeah,
4 weeks were tough mentally, but hey, we did it, man. You know, I've never been one to stop halfway. You know, if we say we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it. And eat my words if I don't get the results I want, and then keep my head up and stay humble if we get the results we needed, and it's exactly what we did. So yeah.
Absolutely, man. I hit you with three quick hitters before I let you get up out of here. Words of advice for those who are turning pro and trying to go into their pro debut. What's something that you can, provide for them, seeing as if you just did that this year?
Uh, take your time. Take your time, and make sure that you completely destroy the physique you had at nationals going into your pro debut. You definitely want to have that side by side comparison, that you took the time to grow, and you took the time to really intensify your training, and just grow that muscle tissue that's needed in the IFBB Pro League, because these guys are again, it's no joke. So, and I'm happy that I got to do mine this year, and now I have a lot of homework to do for like 12 months, and it's gonna be awesome, and I can't wait.
Man, you right. And I wish I would have took more time. I ain't even gonna lie. But for sure it might be 18 months to 24 months before I touch that stage again. So
I'll be
yeah,
there.
take your time,
I'll
please.
be there with you. We'll do the same one.
My guy. Oh yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. So second one, now that you done got two out the way, is there any like bucket list shows that, all right, this is a show I definitely want to do and I hope to win one day? What show is that?
Oh man, I've always dreamed of going to New York and doing the New York Pro. That's a big one, man. Chicago Pro, that's another one. I've seen many of my idols who are now my opponents compete in and win, and then the Arnold Classic would definitely be a monumental and memorable one for me. But whatever DJ decides at the end of the day, and whatever I can afford, that's the
Yeah,
those would be my dream ones, and then ultimately one day win one of those, and then make it to the Olympia stage, one time, just to get that
absolutely, man.
job.
We on the same trajectory, bro. I got the same type bucket list. New York's on there. I don't think next year though, but Pittsburgh is definitely one for me, man.
Oh,
Pittsburgh,
yeah.
and I want to go out the country, man. I want to go to for whatever reason I want to go to Toronto. I don't know why.
You know what? As a I'm Mexican and Salvadorian. I would love to do a pro show in Mexico. That would be awesome, because I had some family members out there, and I'd kind of like to get my name out there as one of the Hispanic athletes from the USA. But that, it just, I've seen those popping up, and I'm like, what, that's pretty cool. I'd like to cross those off my bucket list and say, oh yeah, I competed in Mexico one time. Oh yeah, I competed in, out in the East Coast. It'd be cool.
Yeah, man, you gonna be able to do that. I know the one that's in Mexico is usually in September, if I recall. I
Mhm.
think it's right when you had the Tournament of Champions, something around
Was
there.
was the
So,
week after or something?
oh yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, man, it's just a matter of time before you end up out there, man.
Yeah, man, it'd be cool. As long as we can keep growing, and we'll make it out there.
All right. And then to continue this dialogue again, man, your story is amazing, and it speaks to the strength and the energy you pour into yourself to kind of overcome those tribulations and the mental fortitude that you have. So to continue this dialogue, is there anyone that you can recommend for this show who can kind of talk about the mental health side that we go through on the bodybuilding stage? If you can offer me one person.
Uh, my very good friend, Johnny. Oh my God, why am I blanking out on his name? His IG name is Nomadic Johnny. You've seen me post him. He's a
Oh yeah, I know he's talking about. Okay.
bodybuilder, trainer at from self-made South County in Rancho Santa Margarita. He's actually the lead trainer there, but man, he's been through a lot, and he's had a lot of experiences, and he's very knowledgeable in bodybuilding, and he has a crazy story, man. That would probably be a good guy who can very well express himself in the mental health aspect of things, into bodybuilding, into family, into military even. So yeah.
Mm. All right, so we'll reach out to him. And my guy Ricky, man, appreciate you, bro. I know we've been trying to link this up schedule wise, but we've got it figured out.
We got it, bro. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate you.
No doubt, man. See y'all on the next one. Peace.
So, thank you, bro.